Ramsey Burt here. In the summer, I was invited to contribute to a symposium that Tanzwerkstatt Europa in Munich were organising to celebrate their 30th anniversary. Because of COVID travel restrictions, it was just too difficult for me to actually travel there, so I made them the following video. Liebe Grüße aus York. Greetings from the city of York in the north of England, a country sadly in the middle of a worrying rise in COVID infections. This celebration of 30 years of Tanzwerkstatt Europa makes me nostalgic for past festivals I've attended, for performances in the Muffathalle, conversations in restaurants afterwards, and events I've taken part in. Now that I've retired, I was hoping to spend more time in Europe, perhaps improving my language skills, a hope that Brexit and COVID travel restrictions are blocking. But when Stephanie and Walter posed the question how to go on dancing against, I knew we must continue dancing against nostalgia, and in particular nostalgia for how things used to be before the pandemic that is driving the pressure to get back to normal. The last dance performance I attended was in February last year, when I saw Tanztheater Wuppertal perform Blaubart at Sadler's Wells Theatre in London. Since then, dancers, like everyone else, have been using online video platforms like Zoom for work. This might look like a Zoom event, but it's actually from Natalie Bookchin's 2009 video installation, Mass Ornament. For this, she edited together YouTube posts of people dancing alone in their bedrooms to make it look like they're dancing together. This is from another pre-COVID project, Gesturing Refugees, a 2018 residency at Dance Space Edinburgh by the Palestinian choreographer Farah Saleh. She wanted to work with Palestinian dancers who were refugees and migrants, but the British government wouldn't grant the dancers visas, so they had to work via Skype. We've probably all seen online group performances on Skype or taken an online dance class in the last 18 months. Online video is incrementally changing our understanding of dance. Platforms like Zoom do not just connect people visually, they enable an affective component. Dancers draw on their memories of dancing with others in the studio or on stage to work online. Without our lockdowns, I don't think we would have realised how much it is possible to feel a connection with others through dance over the internet. But what has this to do with continuing to dance against nostalgia? To get back to normal means abandoning what we've learnt during the last 18 months. This is something that some politicians are keen for us to do. They'd like us to forget how easy it was for governments to radically change their economies to facilitate lockdowns. They'd rather we didn't think too much about the accelerated development of revolutionary new approaches to vaccines. They don't want us to think that if we could do all this, we could tackle other urgent global problems like climate catastrophe or social inequalities. We may be at an inflection point, but there are powerful interests resisting change and pushing the drive to get back to normal. Dancers feeling connected with others is the opposite of the route back to normal that the British government is currently pursuing. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has removed the legal obligation to wear a mask on public transport or indoor in public spaces. He wants to leave it up to individuals whether or not to wear one. He doesn't want the state to interfere with individual liberty.
Prime Minister.
Of course, Mr. Speaker, we can see that it's common sense for people in confined spaces to wear a face mask out of respect and courtesy to others, such as on the tube. But what we're doing, Mr. Speaker, is cautiously, prudently moving from legal diktat to allowing people to take personal responsibility for their actions. And that is the right way forward, Mr. Speaker.
The sense of shared connection that online dancing engenders goes against libertarian individualism. Collectivism was anathema to the American novelist Ayn Rand, whose writing is revered by neoliberal ideologues. Rand saw any suggestion that there is a collective responsibility to take care of the needs of others as a harmful restriction on individual freedom. To be free, she wrote, a man must be free of his brothers. That is freedom, that and nothing else. To continue to dance against nostalgia and thus resist the pressure to get back to normal may leave one feeling an alienated outsider among right-wing libertarians. Refugees from the neoliberal economy can find themselves in what Stefano Hani and Fred Moten have called the undercommons. One aspect of being in the undercommons, they argue, is a particular kind of collective feeling. One I suggest that dancers have come to recognise more and more over the last 18 months. The form of collective feeling that Hani and Moten describe is not about being part of a settlement, nation, state, territory or historical story. They argue that when Mighty Shadow sings, "Are you feelin' the feelin'?" he's asking about something else. He's asking about a way of feeling through others, a feel for feeling others, feeling you. This, they write, is modernity's insurgent feel, its inherited caress, its skin talk, tongue touch, breath speech, hand laugh. This is the feeling, they say, that no individual can stand, no state abide. As we remember 30 wonderful years of Tanzwerkstatt Europa, we should not forget the power of feeling the feeling. Vielen Dank.